Boxing King Media in association with Boxro. Adam Smith, thank you for your time. A bit of a feisty weigh-in. I think everyone expected Alicia and Michaela to have a bit of a back and forth. A kick went in.
Well, there we go. She does look up to the Spice Girls, doesn't she? Maybe that was one of the moves. She told me that she had her arms full of belts. Therefore, when she was pushed, she needed to retaliate with something different. To be honest, that fight could top any bill anywhere around the world. It's been a wonderful build-up. It's been sizzling. It's been ferocious. It's been just captivating. The two of them, they're great characters. They're fantastic talkers. They're wonderful fighters, and it's a terrific unification as a co-main event, as a chief support, however you look at it. I look at it as two main events tomorrow night, and then a host of fantastic women on the card to support what is a standalone night. It's the first time ever we've had a female card in the UK. I think everybody is going to be tuning in, different eyeballs on it. It's free on Sky Sports, it's on Showcase, on Main Event. We want people to really tune in. 35% of the ticket holders are women tomorrow night. I think that's wonderful. I know a lot of families that are coming. I know a lot of fathers who are bringing their daughters, and they're going to be inspired like Caroline Dubois was when she went to the Olympics in London 2012 and looked up to Katie and to Tasha and to Nicola Adams, who's with us this weekend. So it's a wonderful moment for women's sport. And as for the main event, Claressa Shields and Savannah Marshall has been 10 and a half years actually, since May 2012 in the melting pot. And I, for one, with all the time we've spent with Savannah Marshall over the years, and obviously getting to know Claressa in recent times, cannot wait for that. It's going to be a fantastic night, and I hope everybody does watch it. And I think it is a real pivotal moment for sport.
It definitely is, because it did seem quite surreal that we just saw women after women weighing in, no men.
Yeah, and look, for me, it's the elite women. It's fantastic, and we've known about them, you and I and many others in the trade, for a long time. I remember when Jane Couch and I were sitting in the late 90s at Sky chatting about, her career and how difficult it was, and she had trouble with the matching, and she always wanted to be an absolute superstar. And Jane was a pioneer, and unfortunately she just came a little bit too before her time maybe, and obviously we had Christy Martin and Layla Ali and others, but they were trailblazers. And when Katie Taylor came to us and Eddie said, I want to turn her professional with Sky, it was just music to my ears. And I think the last few years have been a long build-up towards this moment, because Katie has been incredible. She's an icon, carrying the flag back in 2012, that amazing fight she had with Tasha in the amateurs, and then what a great fight they had in Manchester as pros. We've seen Katie and Terry give us an absolute classic. We've seen Katie Taylor this year against Amanda Serrano. So if Claressa and Savannah and Michaela and Alicia can live up to that tomorrow night, I think the sport's in a great place, not just women's boxing, the sport. I think it's fantastic, and I think we're going to see tomorrow why what we've known for a long time is that we have elite women, and it's time to get them onto the big stage so everyone can see them.
And just a quick one on the undercard. Obviously, we've spoken about the main event. Is there any particular fight they think might stand out, might catch fire?
Look, I make I don't hide the fact that the three Olympians in Karis and Lauren and Caroline, I look at them as my project really, alongside Ben Shalom. I pushed and pushed for him to sign the three of them. Caroline Dubois was one of the first signings for Boxer under the new relationship, but it took us time to get Lauren and Karis. And I think the three of them are going to be superstars of the future. So I'm looking forward to all of their fights. They've all got to step up, and I think they'll shine tomorrow night. And I think they're going to be the ones that are going to be selling out arenas and maybe even stadiums in years to come.
Last question, Adam. Just want to get your opinion on an interview Eddie Hearn did the other day. He was referring to righteous people at Sky who tried their best to get the Dillian Whyte fight to go ahead despite a positive finding earlier in his fight against Rivas.
First of all, I didn't do any interviews, and I haven't done any interviews for a week. I understand the difficulties of what happened last week. It was a bad week for sport. It was a bad week on the back of the Fury AJ mess as well. And obviously, we don't want drugs anywhere near boxing. That's obvious. I was very shocked when I heard that Conor Benn tested positive, because I know him very well. That process has got to go through. The board did exactly the right thing. And as far as anything in the past, Dillian Whyte fought Oscar Rivas. I think that's the fight you're mentioning. And Thomas Hauser broke a story the week after. The board allowed the fight to go on. We did a box office event. And the board prohibited the fight last week, which is the right decision. Calla and Eddie made the right decision. Eventually, the fight didn't go on. We were all disappointed. I was coming as a fan with my 15-year-old son, but the most important thing in boxing is the health and safety of the fighters and the board and the administrators. That's paramount, and unfortunately sometimes that's what has to happen. And there's a lot of money involved. There's a lot of fighters on the undercard who are bitterly disappointed not to fight. Chris Eubank was, and of course Conor Benn has a situation to try and resolve, but that has to happen. That has to be a process. There's no place for drugs. There's a place for a board, the British board. They're the administrators, and we listen to them.
Adam Smith, thank you so much for your time.
No problem.